I watched some of the Nigeria versus Mexico game. Mexico won 2-1. Mexico scored 2 goals. Nigeria scored 1 goal. At the 12th minute, Mexico scored a goal. Then Nigeria scored an equalizer in the second half, I believe. Then, like 2 minutes after Nigeria scored the equalizer, one of our defenders, William E. Kong for Nigeria, had an own goal for Mexico. So Mexico only scored really 1 goal, 1 true goal, but the ball bounced off one of our Nigerian defenders, and that's how Mexico scored their second goal. So it really was supposed to end in a draw, 1-1, but Mexico had a whole lot of chances from what I've seen, and I didn't even watch the whole game. I watched like part of the first half. I didn't watch like the first like 20 minutes of the game. So, but from the time I watched the game, Mexico had like probably like 6 scoring chances in front of goal, but they didn't make the goals. Mexico, I guess, is more clinical around goal. I guess that's one of their flaws or whatever. But yeah, Nigerian players. The Nigerian players, I guess, I just need to keep it real. They're just not good enough. The Nigerian players who started, a lot of the regulars started who played for the team before. Alex Iwobi, who was already a regular for the team. Moses Simon was a regular for the team. A couple other players who played, who are regulars for the team. Yeah. Innocence Bonke, he played for the World Cup qualifiers against Ghana. I mean, and all these players I just named are like Nigerian players who play in the European leagues, like the Premier League and La Liga, and they're just not good enough. They're just not good enough. I just need to keep it real. That European-based players for Nigeria, they're not good enough. They're just not. The European-based players for Nigeria, they failed to qualify for the World Cup. They got eliminated after the first round of the African Cup of Nations. They're just not good enough. I have a solution. Like, they're talented. A lot of our players are talented, but they lack technical ability. They're talented, but they lack that level of technical skill. And when you lack technical skill, you're gonna struggle against the bigger name teams, like the Spains, the Germanys, the Brazils, Argentinas. They're very technically skilled. They have the ability to keep ball possession. They're accurate passers. So if you lack, like from what I saw with Nigeria, and Nigeria often plays like this a lot of times. They don't play like that every game, but Nigeria, whenever I watch them play, most of the time, the Nigerian players are always out of position. When you're out of position as a team, you're gonna struggle to get possession of the ball. The Nigerian players are never in the right position to get possession of the ball. And Nigerian players, the defenders, a lot of times lack the ability to tackle the ball and regain possession of the ball defensively. Like, Nigerian players, they're physical defenders, they're strong defenders, but they lack the technical ability defensively to tackle the ball. So Nigeria struggled to get possession of the ball against Mexico. Mexico dominated majority of the possession of the ball. But the Nigerian players who are based in Europe, they're just not good enough. They lack the technical skill, they lack flair. They don't use their speed and physicality to their advantage a lot of times. It's like the whole Nigerian team needs to be redone. This current Nigerian squad doesn't have a playmaker in a midfield. They have Alex Iwobi. Alex Iwobi can be a good playmaker, but he's not consistent all the time. So Nigeria has no set playmaker. They don't have any creative player who are creative on a regular basis. That can be solved. This Nigerian team needs some type of flair. A lot of these Nigerian players, who play for our squad, they grew up in Europe, so they play more. They're used to playing more of a European type of game. A lot of our players play for the Premier League, La Liga, so they play more of a European game. And the European game is not really based on flair and fanciness. The European game is more based on technical and tactical ability. But the funny thing is, our players, even though they play in Europe, they lack technical and tactical ability. And if you lack technical and tactical ability, you have to make up in that department with flair. But our players don't have any flair, no creativity, and no technical and tactical ability. So this whole team just needs to be started again from scratch, rearranged. A lot of these players, European-based players, should be cut off the team. Nigeria, for the Nigerian midfield and for the Nigerian attackers, they should be locally based players who play in the Nigerian local leagues. Because, these European-based Nigerian players, they're just no good. Even like I said, Joe Rebo was in our midfield. He plays for, I think he plays in the Scottish League, if I'm not mistaken. Joe Rebo, he's an average player. He's not all that great, but he started against Mexico. So, man, and I made past videos about Joe Rebo. Joe Rebo's not creative. He's not a playmaker. It's like he doesn't really offer much to the team. Our offensive players in the midfield and our attackers and our wingers and our strikers, they should be players in the Nigerian local leagues. And that's because for a couple reasons. I prefer Nigerian local league players offensively over the European-based players because the Nigerian local league players, for the first off, the Nigerian local players play for the local leagues, Nigeria, they're going to play the game like they have something to prove. A lot of these local Nigerian players, they want to make it to the European League, so they have something to prove. They want to prove that they can play at a high level. So they'll put in the utmost effort to play at the highest level. These players like Alex Iwobi, Joe Rebo, Moses Simon, they're already playing in the big leagues, so a lot of our Nigerian players, since they already play in Europe, they feel like they've already made it. So since they feel like these European-based players on their team feel like they've already made it, they feel like they don't have to prove themselves and put in the maximum effort to play at their highest potential. And the Nigerian players who play in the European leagues, they lack creativity, they lack flair. When you play against the big name teams who are extremely technical and tactical, you need some type of creativity to overshadow their technical and tactical skill. Like players in Spain and Germany, England, they're typically more technically and tactically skilled than Nigerian players are. So to level out that advantage that these big name teams have over us technically and tactically, to kind of even up the gap, we'll have to use our creativity and our flair to even up that gap. And our players don't have any creativity and flair, but the players who play in the local African leagues, they still play the African style of play that has flair, creativity, dribbling. In European soccer, the European soccer players don't really dribble. European soccer is more based off of excessive passing and minimal dribbling. But African players in general are more effective when they're dribbling the ball, in the open field, dribbling the ball, out dribbling defenders, So we need those types of African players on our team. Nigeria definitely needs those types of players. Yeah, and another thing is the coaching. You can't really force Africans players are different from European players in football. Naturally, we just have a different flow of the game. We have a different skill set. African soccer should be based more on creativity and dribbling and flair instead of excessive dribbling. Let me say that again. African football should be more based on dribbling and flair and creativity instead of excessive passing. African teams should not be passing excessively, And the big name teams, like these big name teams, like Spain, England, Germany, right? They're not used to playing against the African style of play, which is more focused on flair, creativity, and dribbling. They're more used to that style of play, which is more based on excessive passing. So when you play the African style of play, you're giving these bigger name teams a style of play that they're not used to. So that'll be your advantage. They're not used to defending creativity and flair and dribbling, but they're used to defending teams who pass a lot. When I see Nigeria play, I see them trying to be something that they're not. These coaches are trying to force Nigerian players to play more of a European style of play, but that doesn't fit our players' skill set. We'll just be passing the ball excessively, passing the ball left and right, not moving the ball forward, just passing the ball aimlessly. It's like, that's not African style of play. That's not the style of play our players really are comfortable with. So, man, Nigeria is definitely not the best team in Africa. There's teams that are better than Nigeria. All the African teams that made it to the World Cup are probably better than Nigeria, to be honest. And I hate to say that as a Nigerian Super Eagles fan, but it is what it is. When I watch Senegal play, they're a better team than Nigeria. Senegal, they're more creative than Nigeria. They're more skilled on the ball as far as keeping possession of the ball. You know, Senegalese players, they'll position their bodies and protect the ball by their body position. You know, Nigerian players don't do that. Nigerian players don't know how to position their bodies in front of to protect the ball from the defenders. Senegalese players do that. Ghanaian players do that, and Cameroon players do that as well. Like, they know how to position their bodies to protect the ball from being intercepted or tackled away from them by the defenders. Nigerian players don't do that. And another thing that Senegal, Cameroon, and Ghana, you know, the black African teams who made it to the World Cup, Senegal, Cameroon, and Ghana, another thing that they have over Nigeria is that they have better positioning than Nigeria. Senegal, Cameroon, and Ghana, I watched all those teams play, and they have better positioning than than Nigeria. Nigeria's positioning fucking sucks. Senegal, Cameroon, and Ghana, they stay in good defensive positioning, you know, to gain ball possession. If you're not in good positioning defensively, then it's going to be so hard to gain ball possession. You know, Nigeria always has to run to the ball, you know, on defense to defend the ball because they're never in position to be close to the ball. Senegal, Cameroon, and Ghana, they're already in good positioning to get possession of the ball, you know, from the, yeah. So it's like, I definitely see like our players are just not good enough. And our players, these European-based players for Nigeria who play in the La Liga, Premier League, they need to be replaced with creative players with heart, you know. And those creative Nigerian players with heart, who have flair, who know how to dribble the ball, they play in the local Nigerian leagues, the NFPL, I believe they call it. But, all right, you guys, peace.